Hello, and welcome everyone to the Sales Engagement Podcast. Hope you're staying safe and healthy indoors right now. I'm assuming we're all still in self-isolation, but thanks for hanging out with us. We've got a very interesting topical conversation right now, and I am joined, my guest here is KAYCEE Mariappan. KAYCEE, welcome.
Hi Scott, thanks for having me here, and welcome to everyone, and hope everyone stay indoors and be safe.
Yeah, great advice for sure. And so I'm excited for this one. So KAYCEE, for the listeners, is the CEO and founder of Hiphop Video. So video, of course, exploding in popularity as we all have to move to this virtual world. So I really want to talk to you because you're on the front lines of how we can kind of reimagine our sales strategy through videos. You know, we've all been using things like Zoom for a long time, but you know, now more than ever, you know, there's all these different strategies of how we can use video. So I want to talk to you about that. But before we get there, let's talk a little bit about your background. How did you come to be a founder and CEO of such a cool company?
Yeah. So myself and two other co-founders, we were working with Zoho, an online product suite, for 16 years. So in 2016, we quit Zoho and started this organization. Primarily, we believed in video as the engagement platform because it has enabled a lot of people to be more engaging and collaborative. So, and we felt the market to be underserved, and we found a nice niche there. So that's how Hiphop Video came into place, and especially with personalized videos.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, very cool, very cool. So, and when did you start Hiphop Video? How long have you guys been around now?
Yeah, so it's been 3.5 years, and it's been quite a journey, right from a small video capturing tool to what we have envisioned as a personalized video engagement platform, helping businesses engage with prospects, customers through personalized videos. It has been a long journey, yes, and it's been a wonderful journey. Yeah,
I can imagine. All right, so let's talk a little bit about then, you know, the current landscape we're in. You know, what has changed really in the past month for you guys, your clients, yourselves? Let's talk about some of the changes we're all facing right now.
Yes. Unfortunately, this COVID has changed the whole system upside down, I should say. People are not leaving home. They are working from home. The sales people, all of them have become inside sales rather than you have field sales, field marketing sales. It has all become like under one umbrella, I would say, inside sales kind of. And what runs in the people, the prospects or customers, is sort of a shock or uncertainty on what is the next step. So the way you engage with your customers or prospects has totally changed.
Yeah,
the whole system has started in a very different way. So how do you engage yourself? There is no in-person meetings. All the events have got canceled. They are moving into virtual events. So all your playbooks have gone, or that's what I would say.
Yeah, I would agree. I wonder almost if this, because, you know, we saw, I'd say 5 years ago, this mass kind of migration from more outside sales to inside sales. And now there's still, you know, some field reps out there. I wonder if this will be the death of the field sales rep, or at least make those roles smaller and move a lot of them inside. What are your thoughts there? Do you think we'll see more move inside in a post-COVID world?
Okay. People as a social want to communicate, etc. The field sales will have its prominence, as you said, but it may go down a little bit because people have started engaging in a very different way. To give you an example, before COVID, people have started video in their sales process already. But what this has made is that fastened really that adoption of videos into the system, as you said earlier.
Yeah.
So the engagement is going to be a little different.
Totally. Yeah. It's interesting. You're right. A lot of these things that we see that are becoming more prominent as we as we navigate this, we're already in the works. You know, they're all already happening. Like people were getting the ability to work remotely more, you know, tools like Slack, like Zoom, like Hippo Video, all these, they were coming up. Now it's just really pushed down the line faster. And you mentioned another thing there that I think is important to highlight for all the listeners out there who are sellers, is just acknowledging that uncertainty that everyone is feeling right now, right? Like
exactly.
And even this podcast, like the advice we're going to try and give you today, may be very different in only 48 hours. Truly, right? Like everything is changing so fast. And so making sure that you are, you know, I feel like we beat this drum to death, but leading with empathy and making sure you understand how uncertain your buyers are feeling.
Exactly.
And I think urgency is almost out the window in this world right now. No one's doing things too fast. Okay. So I guess my question is, you know, how do we have to reimagine some of our existing sales strategies? We've talked about a few of them, but what ways are you seeing teams just reimagining, you know, their sales strategies?
Okay. So before we go into reimagine, let's understand the scenario. It's totally unprecedented. Starting from businesses, forget about businesses, even governments have not faced these kind of situation for 100 long years. So none of your playbook is going to work now, and you have to rewrite it on your own. So the best way to rewrite is to understand, really empathize with your prospects or customers, understand from where they are coming in. So I would say selling has become more of giving, understand and give them value. I would say value driven is what is going to be stuck forever. That would be a one key change that is going to be happening with this reimagining, I would say. And that is very, very critical because, as I said, people are uncertain. So you have to be really empathize, talk to them, understand what is that, give them what they want, take them into the consideration phase, building trust, everything. And videos as a way is going to be helping you do that without one-to-one meetings. That is what is really going to happen.
Yeah, I like that. And again, it goes back to what we said earlier of like, this movement was already happening, right? The best sellers in the world were already leading with value. They were doing this. And now it's like, just expose these gaps in some people not doing that. And I love what you said, you know, selling in this world has now become giving. So what can you give? So give first, you know, sell second. I like it.
Exactly.
Okay. So let's talk tactically how, so we're reimagining our strategies. Things are completely changing. It's all unprecedented. We have to give before we sell. What does it take to sell remotely? So for some listeners who never, let's say, have worked remotely, how do I have to change my approach?
Yes. So it's more about understanding don'ts rather than do's, I would say, is the first step ahead in selling remotely. As I said, I saw a post a couple of days or a week back by John Barrows, where he got one cold mail, which was like, hey, what is your plan for 2020 at this moment, right? So that is clearly a don't, right? You have to really empathize. People are going through so many other things. So he gave a reply back. It's all about sticking ourselves on the land, right?
Yeah.
So it's more about understanding what we should not really do, because this is totally a new scenario we are in. Then comes what are the do's, basically. Yeah. So as I said earlier, giving is the way forward. Find the value that you can deliver to the prospect and try to engage with them. I would say you have to go into that engagement mode in a more authentic way. Be real is what is required today.
Yeah, totally. And I like the way of looking at it, like focusing on what you shouldn't do. What you shouldn't do is pretend like, you know, it's just any other day. I'll tell you, I had someone reach out to me last week. I was on a cold sequence that I will give this person credit. They had put me on the sequence before this all happened, but they should have known to take me off. And it was a third step in a sequence. And the email went something like, hey, I hope you're your Unleash conference looks great. Do you have any room for speakers? I've got a great keynote for you. And I was just like, well, first off, our Unleash conference got canceled and moved virtually,
Yes.
3 weeks ago. Every event in the world right now is canceled. And it was just so unbelievably tone deaf. And, I've said this before, but when you do things like that in this environment, it's not like just a normal environment. Like that's going to hurt your brand 2-3 times as much as it would in normal circumstances. Because people are, like you said, people are very uncertain and they're feeling weird. So they need to be reassured. So when you do stuff like that, it's really detracting.
Exactly.
And then, on the flip side, I had someone in a very similar scenario who also did events just call me. He's been trying to close me for 2 years, man. And I hope I can give him money one day. But he just like, hey, I heard the event got canceled. We're in events too. Here's a few things that we're doing to set us up for success in the future. And I was like, man, that's awesome. So, there's the two approaches, like so juxtaposed. And
yes.
Okay. So we talked a little bit about the don'ts. Don't treat it as normal. What you should be doing is, giving in an authentic fashion, showing up, being real. Any other, I guess, strategies or things to think about on the do side?
Yes. So how do you reimagine your sales channel itself? So I read somewhere in China, in the heart of this problem, a company called Li Xingquan, which is a perfume selling company. Mm-hmm. They had to shut down all their stores. And what they really thought about is they picked all their advisors inside stores, brought them online, and started evangelizing their product online through videos. Mm-hmm. And what has really happened is the sales guys' efficiency, who were contributing like 40%, were contributing already 200%.
Wow.
So you have to understand how do you want to reach them. So this is all about understanding empathy, understand where they are going to connect with you, and connect there with a very, very proper channel, give them what they want. So they were becoming more of advisors rather than selling it.
Yeah.
So that is the kind of thing. So you should, and so the tone deaf is one important part. The other part is understand where people are actually moving away or what they are looking into, are two different things. So avoid the tone deaf, go more into giving. That's what the important tactic. Find more channels. The channels to reach out them, because all of them are locked down in their home, working from home, Zoom calls, meetings away. So how do you reach out to them? How do you stand out? Because you have 100 other companies trying to send out through their cadences, existing cadences, as you said, or it could be new things. So how do you stand out and deliver the value? And we have seen many companies who have adopted videos are able to stand out and deliver that engagement. Because when you put your face to your signature, right, that's what video helps you do that.
Yeah.
You are naturally get some opportunity to connect with them, engage with them. That's what I would say.
Yeah, no, that's great advice. I think it's going to be kind of an unprecedented time for creativity too. Like you mentioned, a reimagining of your entire business, right? And I think allowing yourself the time to not just proceed with business as usual, but this could be a time where you open up 2 new revenue streams that that you never even thought of, right? I look at an example, like my gym, of course, is closed. I take these workout classes called F45, and we all go there, and it's led by an instructor. And now within 2 weeks, they've launched a digital version of that where it's still live. There's still an instructor. I hook it up to the TV, and it costs a fraction of the cost. And I'm already thinking, like, I might just do this when the world goes back to normal. Even like, I like this. I get to do it whenever from the comfort of my home. And that's a subscription service that could, be that could be the future of their business, right there.
True.
So,
True.
Very, very interesting stuff. Okay. Let's talk about, when should we be using video in this climate? Like, are we talking about video for prospecting, video for people that are already in our funnel, more content-driven videos for our website, where are you seeing people have the most success utilizing video?
Yes. There are two areas in which we are seeing people having success in videos. One, I would say the essential part of it is in the sales, mostly in the prospecting, when you send out some cadences or when you are trying to reach out through cold email, giving out your value, what you want to deliver to them as a very real, authentic messaging. That we have seen. The other important part in this unprecedented scenario is keeping your customers safe, keeping your existing customers happy, find the value. So we have seen people adopting videos more into customer retention part as well. Because that is also where people actually sort of slip when they've slipped in the sales. But it is more important to have your customers, existing customers, retain for a longer time, find value with your existing product. So how do you engage with them? So these are the two areas we have seen most people are adopting videos today.
Yeah. Another great piece of advice there that I want to highlight is, taking this time to call each and every one of your existing customers, send them a video, how much you appreciate them, if they need anything. Again, it's all about that giving. And this could be, I know we're also hyper focused on growth, that sometimes that slips, right? That's the first thing to slip. There's really no excuse in this environment where, we maybe have a little bit more time to slow down and contact them all. I like it. All right. So last question, or I have two more questions and then we'll kind of wrap up here is, there's a huge motivational component to sales. When you're prospecting, when you're closing, it's already a very difficult job. How have you been at Hippo Video and how have you seen some of your customers keeping up the motivation of their sales reps to still get out there and still hit quota?
Yes. So with this remote working coming into place, so it's very important for the leader, sales leader, kind of do a presidential address on a daily basis, I would say. Keep them contact, have the Zoom call, talk to them, what is there to be set up. Because people might have different problems back at their home or in their neighborhood. So they still undergo some kind of mind unsettling things. So you, as a leader, you should be there at the forefront, talking to them, taking them out. So we had a SaaS unicorn company with us who had undergone this, and they were trying to do this ABM process, account-based selling process, through videos before COVID started. And this kind of unsettled things out for them. But then they regained the whole thing. They did a campaign with their videos in their cadences, talking to people, sending out videos in their sales LinkedIn kind of things. And they are finding out value through that. They've even shortened their cycle by 40%, the sales cycle. The response rate data has increased by 66%.
Wow.
And this has all happened in the last 3 weeks. Because one more important part, like the receiver, the prospect is also now adopting more videos into the system.
Right.
Not like before. They have the time to rethink, understand. So that is what I would say as far as the SaaS unicorn is concerned.
Yeah.
As a good example.
That's great to hear that there are businesses out there that are seeing, improved results even during this time. I know I have some friends I've been talking to in the SaaS space as well, kind of mid-market SaaS companies, and they've actually seen their connections go up and the response to emails go up. If you're doing it the right way, there is increased results you can see. I like it. All right. Well, KAYCEE, this has been a fantastic conversation. I want to kind of close this out with a question that I always ask, because we went over a lot and there's a lot of things on people's minds right now. If people just remember, let's say, 3 things from this conversation, what would you like those to be?
Yeah. First one, humans have always been very creative and have come out well in stress. And to give you a couple of examples, I've seen a lot of teachers now adopting videos in teaching out students. They did not lose out their faith, right? The positivity is still there. I could see in churches adopting to send out confident messages to them. So I see humans are very, very positive and they can come out really well. And we are going to come out of this really, really well.
Yeah.
That is the first part. And second part, I would say, forget about selling. It's more about giving. Give the value. Make them understand the value. Because this is what a period where they need to find the value on what they do, deliver that. And finally, be real, be authentic. And videos help you do that.
Yep.
That's what I would say.
That's awesome. I love those. So humans are extremely resilient and positive. We will get through this. I know we all will. And then, you know, focus on giving, not selling right now. Last but not least, you know, be real, be authentic. Utilize video right now for sure, so you can showcase your authentic self. KAYCEE, well, thank you so much for the insight. It's been a lot of fun hanging out with you. And for all those listeners that tuned in, thank you so much. And we'll see you next time.
Yeah, thank you. Thank you, Scott.